Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Saturday night, right? It's Saturday night.
We're not at
and we're not at home.
We're not at the house tonight.
It's a Saturday night version of Staying Up with Pat and Jodi.
And as we say every Saturday night, we are
what? Live
from Las Vegas. It's Saturday night. Yay! How do you miss that? That's our thing.
I don't know. Is it?
Yes.
I think that's actually there's a show in New York.
There is, but they're not on tonight. So what does it matter?
Yeah,
we are live.
We're here
every
live.
Wednesday. We're here every Saturday. And it's great to see everybody. We are all ready and excited because right after this, we have a special treat for each and every one of you.
That's right.
We're going to be doing a dance party right after this. And in order to get invited to the dance party, it is only going to be broadcast on Zoom. So you have to take the code right down there, scrolling across the bottom. And that's the only way you get access into the party. I'm sorry, we cannot broadcast it on Facebook. We cannot broadcast it on YouTube. The only way we could do it is in a Zoom room. So we need each and every one of you to come out and support us and jump into the Zoom room, in a little while. And we're going to do a dance party. And we got big surprises. We have Quarantina, who's going to join us tonight. Special guest Quarantina is going to be dancing for you. And it's going to be great. And Pat's going to be spinning. And it's going to be a great party. So we're going to turn the studio into a nightclub. It's going to be great. So
it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So make sure you join us right there. And we have a special guest tonight, Pat.
We do. A very special guest that we've known for a long time. And you've known for even longer, right?
Yes.
That's been a friend of the family.
No, I met him when you did.
Okay,
he's
been a friend of the family for Jodi could never get off her phone. Even while we're doing a show, she's on her phone. Can you believe that?
Well, okay. So just everybody knows, my sister Michelle, since the quarantine has broken out, her and her husband Mark are out partying almost
like
every night.
Stars, yeah.
Every night there at the Jersey Shore, there is something that they're going to, some sort of drinking event. And tonight is no exception. I just told her that we're on now. I invited her to come to the dance party. I invited her to watch Staying Up with Pat and Jodi on YouTube. And her response to me was that she's at a neighbor's and that they invited them for a barbecue. I mean, I said to her, you do more partying now than you ever did. Like, they're always out. I mean, they're always out at neighbors they live at the Jersey Shore. So all the Guidos are out. I don't know, but
they're taking advantage of the locale.
So Michelle, my sister, is out partying, and my mother goes to Dunkin' Donuts. Pat and we go to the office, and that's about it. Mom goes to Dunkin' Donuts. Michelle's drinking. I mean, Jesus Christ, people. What the hell is going on? And the neighbors next door are drinking, but they stay home. So they're not hurting anybody.
That's right.
But Jesus. All right. Let's introduce our special guest.
So, yes, because we started doing that and then you went off on a tangent.
Well, I'm sorry because I keep getting dinged on my phone here.
Well, don't pay attention to your phone.
I'm sorry.
That's going to be one of the little pet. Oh, that's for later.
Okay. We'll save that for later.
We'll save that for later. But we do have a very special guest here, somebody we've known for a long time who has done a lot of work for us. As a very talented individual that not only has DJed for us for years, but has also done a lot of live. In fact, his beginnings are in live music, and we'll talk a little bit about that. He grew up, and tell him a little bit about how you found out about Chuck.
Well, I met Chuck. Well, I know Chuck through my parents and his parents and my uncle Stanley Fortuna and his wife. They all knew Chuck's family. So that's how we all met. But we met when Chuck came to Vegas.
Yeah.
So we met when Chuck came to Vegas. But Chuck was a hairdresser and he was in a band and he DJ'd back in New York. We didn't travel in the same party circles, but we know a lot of the same friends. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on. He's actually tonight. He is your rock and roll name tonight is
Chucky Michaels from Poison.
Poison.
How you doing, guys? Awesome. It's awesome.
Chucky Michaels.
Everything is awesome. How you guys doing? All right? Everything good?
We're doing
I gotta have a little cocktail. Cheers to you, man. It's a little cocktail hour here. We're good.
There you go. Well, now it's cocktail hour all the time, isn't it?
It's party time.
Pretty much. I'm seeing how long I can get that 2-quart bottle of Fireball to last. the half gallon, man. It's getting low.
Oh my God, how are you holding up, Chucky Michaels? What's going
You
on?
know what? I'm doing okay. When this all started, of course, you know, the music thing fell out. Everybody dropped out of the whole thing. So I kind of dug in. I'm here in the bunker. This is my domain. I have my studio here. And on a whim, a lot of people were posting stuff on Facebook about songs and, you know, tributes and all the people working the front line. So what I did was Bill Withers had just passed away. So everybody was singing, but I played an instrumental saxophone version of Ain't No Sunshine When You're Gone, you know. So that went crazy. It went viral and everybody was digging it. And then I got requests to play other stuff. So my little bell went off in my head because I do a lot of impersonation stuff on the East Coast with, you know, tribute bands. So I figure I'll do all the tunes as in character, try and look like them, sound like them. So I started getting my wig collection together and doing performances, and it went viral. And matter of fact, I think the biggest hit of all was I did the Batman theme dressed as Batman. I was playing guitar as Batman.
That's awesome. And you know what? What's funny is there must be a lot of people who really don't know you as well as they think they do when they ask,
no,
yeah, I didn't realize he had so many costumes. It's like, then you don't know Chuck.
No, and actually the biggest question was, he's got a Batman costume, and they're like, duh. You know,
I think I remember you wearing a Batman costume once at the hair salon or something. I think you had.
Well, you know, when I had everybody about the wig thing too. I am a hairdresser by trade. I did own the salon for a long time, and I got out from underneath that a little while back. But I'm still doing hair, and I'm still doing music, and I've been traveling all over the place for the last 5 years, doing a lot of tribute shows. I did Dion for a year, you know, off and on the East Coast with my buddy's band back there, Streets of the Bronx band, and it was a Dion tribute. So I had sunglasses and the leather hat, and we did all the Dion tunes. Matter of fact, Dion is the artist of today on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Chuck St. Troy.
Oh, cool.
And we did a 60s tribute to Dion, about 4 or 5 songs. Everybody was boogieing in the living room all over the East Coast this morning. They were having a great time, you know. So I've been doing a different show every day, and I've done it since the beginning of the quarantine. So it's about a month and a half now. I've got a lot of shows up. So
do you know
I've done
how
everybody from Tina. I did Tina Turner. I've done Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, I did everybody. So it's a hoot. I'm having a lot of fun. You know, keeps me busy. So
yeah. Well,
you know, I get to broadcast.
You're turning lemons into lemonade, is what
I'm trying. You know, and basically, my big thing was, of course, the positivity of music and the healing power.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a funny story, Jody, because you know people back east. I got a message from my friend's wife in New York. He was on a ventilator. He had the coronavirus, and he wasn't doing well. So she said, can you play Billy Vera's At This Moment and dedicate it to him, and, you know, see if we can get some people to chime in. So I put it up. I did the dedication. We got 1,000 hits on the tune. And good news is, off the ventilator, out of intensive care, and he's on the road to recovery slowly but surely. So
thank God.
The healing power of music, man. I've gotten many messages. We've been in contact, you know, over the last couple of days since he's feeling better. But I'm like, shoot, man, I'll put it up for you. No problem. Let's do it, you know. So that's the whole thing. And I don't put any depressing stuff up. It's all, you know, up tempo, a lot of goofy stuff too. It's all for fun. And people have been commenting left and right. It's like, you're out of your mind. You've lost your shit. It's like, you know.
Oh, yeah. So you haven't sung My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard yet, have you?
Oh, man. Let me tell you, baby. Let me tell you.
I'm waiting for you to sing the Milkshake song and Baby Shark.
It's great. And there's no lack of stuff to do because people are requesting left and right now. So my the quarantine home tour, which it's called, is way booked. So everybody's in the, and I'm shooting about maybe 10 things a week just so I keep ahead.
Yeah.
So you're on every day? Do you go on at a certain time?
Yep. It goes up 6 a.m. New York time, 3 a.m. Vegas time. And it's a new show every day in character, or I did like one day of Blue Eyed Soul. I did one afternoon of Chicago music. We did Saturday in the Park on a Saturday. You know, I had people requesting while I was playing, and I'm adding tunes as I'm going along. My Facebook is lighting up, you know, so it's all good. And I'm just glad everybody's enjoying what I'm doing because it's all tongue in cheek. It's for fun. And it's to keep the mood light. Lord knows, turn off the television. It's too crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you watch too much
Very
news,
depressing.
you're going to think the world is coming to an end and it's all over.
Well,
basically,
you know, it is what it is, and they've got to do what they have to do. But I'm trying not to buy into that, and I'm trying to keep a positive attitude. And eventually, look, it's not forever. The fog's going to clear sooner or later. So hopefully, we'll be ready when it does, and we'll all come out of the gate better people for it. We appreciate each other now.
I hope we come out.
I mean, I miss the camaraderie of everybody I used to hang out with. And it's very hard. And my big thing is there's a lot of people alone during this crisis. They're by themselves. They're in a little apartment. You know, so I'm just there to spread the love of music and keep it going, keep it uplifting and very positive. You know.
So do they only find you on your Facebook page, or do you have other outlets? Are you on YouTube? Is it just Facebook?
I am. I have a Chuck St. Troy YouTube page, but not everything has been transferred over yet. I'm doing it a little at a time because it takes a little time. And the daily thing has become, it's like a day job. I got a real job, man, doing this every day because I have to edit the videos. I have to record them. I have to make sure the sound's cool. I got to do a couple in a row, you know, so it is time consuming. But you know what? I got a lot of time, man. There's not much to do. So
you're keeping your chops up. You know, it's just like anything else. You know, like especially a musician, anything else. You want to keep everything working. You can't just stop and then 3 months later come back and be where you were. You need to keep everything.
And you know,
working.
and actually singing is like running. If you don't do it every day, it's really hard to keep going. So this has helped me. I mean, I'm doing everything from Dion to Led Zeppelin, and everything's in character. Everything is sound alike to the record, as close as I can physically and you know visually get. So that's the thing that's cracking everybody up. I did a couple of days of Boston, you know, the band Boston, and I had on a fake mustache and a wig, and they were like, "We like the '70s porno mustache. Keep it." You know. It was hilarious. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really actually kind of getting creative with it. I'm trying to think of things I could do, and it's a lot. I have a lot of followers. I got a lot of people checking in. So every day, 6 a.m. New York time, 3 a.m. I get a new show, and we pick an artist or a bunch of tunes that are related, and we put up 3 or 4 and let it run. Every day is a new show. So tune in. Now I have a thing where I get on and I go, "Good morning. Guess who?"
Kind of like my live from Las Vegas. It's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
kind of stole part of that.
That's it.
Well, he took Good Morning. He got that from Good Morning Vietnam.
That's right. I did. I stole it.
See, I told you the best.
Good morning.
They're not stolen. They're borrowed.
They're borrowed.
They're borrowed.
Inspired by.
Yeah. Woo. Come on. I wasn't the first person to go.
Well, it's funny because I do little lead-ins, sometimes in an English accent if it's an English, but I mean, it's crazy. But one day I literally forgot who I was.
Oh, shit.
So I posted the outtake of like, I don't know who the hell I am today. You know?
That happens to my neighbors almost every day. They forget who they are.
Oh, well, you know, it happens to me. I mean, in real life, I'm blonde, so, you know, I got an excuse, you know.
That's right. You are a real blonde.
Well, you are a real
I am a real blonde. At this point, I'm very blonde. You know?
Well, my clients used to think that you looked a lot like Sting.
You know what? I had short hair for a while. I did cut it short. And I originally went with the kind of Billy Idol thing, and then Sting kind of took over. And I used to have people following me in airports, thinking I was him. I'm like, no, it's not, you know. Oh, you're just saying that, you know. Let me hear your English accent. I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
That would be great. You could be like his stunt double.
Who's?
Yeah, pretty much, you know.
Yeah, or just in a movie, a stunt double, or you could be his decoy when he's doing concerts to get the press.
Or the girls,
yeah,
the bimbos,
the girls off.
The bimbos, like, you know, the bimbos go running around. That's
And he goes out with a black wig on, and you know.
Oh yeah, I know. On the intro, you were talking about how we got hooked up when I got out here in Vegas.
And
so how many
years have you been in Vegas?
I've been here since '01.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
19 years.
So long time. Yeah. And I got out here right after 9/11 when I opened the shop, and it was a little shaky. I was like, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing. If I said, but you know what? No time is the right time. Let's go. You know.
Yeah.
And I had 10 good years at the shop, and then I had a little bit of some health issues. I had to kind of like solidify my life. And I was working 80 hours a week. You know, I was working with you guys. I was playing. I was doing the shop. It was really pretty crazy. But I'm great now. Everything's good. I feel good. I'm doing as much as I can. And our family knew each other back east. And I remember my dad called me and he said, I spoke to Jodi's dad. Why don't you call her? Because you DJ and she's got a DJ company. So that's how I gave you a buzz. We got together, we hooked up, and I've been working for you ever since.
Yeah, we've had a great relationship. We've had a good run, and the run will continue. So despite all the stuff that we hear out there, you know, eventually people
we're
will
not
party.
going anywhere. So we're here for the duration. We're here for
Yes.
the long haul.
We are not going anywhere. We're ready for them. We're ready. You know what? I think, Chuck, when these parties start, they're going to be epic celebrations.
I'm almost positive that people are they're gonna have a little way to figure it out, but it's going to be so good to do what they were doing, you know, and in any way, shape, or form, better than not doing anything, you know. I mean, I had a whole bunch of dates booked on the East Coast. Outdoor concerts are all postponed. The outdoor venues are a little bit different than indoor. Indoor is just canceled. I have friends on tours that are not even happening till 2021. You know, Bon Jovi's off the road indefinitely until it's all cleared up, because it's too much logistically to put it together, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
So they can't even speculate just starting it up like starting a car and a go, you know. It's
well, and concerts with 40 or 50 or 60,000 people are kind of going to be the last step of this, you think? You know,
I think so, you know. And how are they going to do it, and you know, how are they going to make it work? It's going to be a whole thing to figure it out, you know.
Yes.
But the great thing about the music community, as far as DJs, I have guys that are in New York that DJ, that are doing what you guys are doing, dance parties. They're trying to keep everything uplifting and keep people in the loop about what they're doing. And my thing is that music for everybody is the healer. It's a timestamp of your life. It should, you know, convince people to have good times instead of bad times. So they're all trying to do something positive. I have people doing acoustic things on Zoom. We did the thing on my Facebook page. We did a little tribute to Steely Dan with a bunch of guys in 5 different locations, and we edited it all together, and it is us playing with each other, but not in the same spot. And it came out actually fantastic. It was amazing. That's technology is what it is, and it's great, you know. So,
and what made
you want to get on there, you can.
Now, what made you decide to become
stuff too?
Now, what made you decide to become an entertainer? Like, what was it? Because I mean, when you were growing up in New York, did you always have aspirations of being a singer? Like, what made you decide to do this?
The Beatles. As soon as the Beatles hit Ed Sullivan, that's it. That's what we want to do, you know. And that was the big defining moment for a lot of people in the music business. But I had older cousins. That were into 50s and 60s music. My dad was a big band fanatic. There was music around me my whole life. They used to have dance parties in my playroom at my house with 45s and stuff like that. So it was great. You know, we always had that connection. And then I started singing in junior high school, and, you know, I was in the band, in the orchestra. And then I started singing in the bathroom, and we got busted, you know, smoking and singing. And we ended up doing a show. We had to do a spring concert, and we had to do a show. So from then on, that was my first exposure to a real audience, and it was great. And I'm like, well, I could do this, you know, it's cool. And I've been in bands since I was 14 years old, full-time playing musician. I mean, I always did music and then something else, you know. So it was a lot of fun. And I grew up with a lot of different types of music, which is great. And all through the 80s, 90s, dance music, disco. I mean, I was DJing back when the Studio 54 stuff was happening. My buddy, Nicky Ciano, was the DJ at Studio 54. I used to go there and hang out with him. So it was like a whole nother world of, you know, mixing and everything, beat mixing and all the disco dance stuff. It was great, you know, great stuff.
Well,
And a great time.
a lot of people don't know that you're friends with Monty Rock. How's Monty
Yes,
Rock?
Monty
Tell everybody
Rock,
who Monty Rock is, in case they don't know.
Well, Monty Rock originally was a hairstylist from the Bronx and ended up doing a disco song with Discotheques and the Sexolettes called Get Dancing. Now, he was always performing some way, but he started as a DJ, and he was a DJ in Saturday Night Fever. He's the guy in the movie. Yep.
Yeah.
So Monty and I knew each other because we were both hairdressers back in the day, and we crossed paths, you know, many times. And the music connection was always our connection. But Monty became a minister and married my wife and I out here.
Yes, we were there. Yes, we remember.
We remember
He
that.
officiated at my wedding. So everything goes full circle, man. It was,
And
it
how
was
is
crazy.
Monty? How's Monty Rock during all this?
He's doing okay. He lost his partner not too long ago. He had a long-time partner, and he's getting up there in age, but he's still around and he's still doing his thing.
Is he in
That
Vegas?
guy was he was on Johnny Carson more times than anyone else ever.
Wow.
Like 87 times.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I think he's got the record with David Brenner for being on the most times.
Wow.
Because he was such a hoot. I mean, what was his act? Really didn't have one. But
Wow.
Johnny loved him because he was crazy, you know.
Wow. That's
Well, and Johnny
so-
and like a lot of those guys, they had people on speed dial for when other guests would drop out. If you
That's
were
right.
close, they would call you up and say, "Hey, Rodney Dangerfield dropped out tonight. I need you to fill in the spot." So they would get some of these guests. I think Brenner was one of them because he was close. They'd say, "Hey,
Yes.
Brenner, can you come in tonight because so and so dropped out?" That's why they were on so damn much.
Brenner was awesome.
Absolutely.
Brenner was awesome. We miss Brenner. We
Yeah.
saw Brenner live
At the
here in
Orleans.
Vegas at the Orleans. We were the youngest people in there,
Yeah.
and he was so good.
Yep.
He was amazing. I remember Brenner from Atlantic City when he opened the Sands in Atlantic City. David Brenner, he was awesome. He was really good. And now what's great about TV, if people have time to watch TV, that all these classic shows are on TV. So you could watch Johnny Carson. We watch Johnny Carson now, and it's hysterical to see some of the celebrities and what they talk about. It's great.
Yeah, we watched the replays on. I think it's is it Cozy TV
I don't know. It's
or one of the
TV,
TV or Cozy
I'm
TV.
not sure.
They
but-
play all the old shows, and it's great to watch them, and seeing stuff that's from the 80s, and I think it went into the early 90s.
Yep.
But it really is kind of cool to see some of those old shows.
Are you binge watching anything during this pandemic? Do you have any recommendations on what to watch besides Tiger King?
Oh, I think he froze up.
Oh, he froze up.
Yeah, he froze up.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, we're going to get Chuck back here in a minute. He froze up. I was wondering why he wasn't saying anything.
He wasn't saying anything.
Does he just click the link and get back
just got to
on?
get back on. He was
Okay.
standing there still. He was standing still, frozen.
I just thought I was having some riveting conversation, actually. I just thought it was like, wow, he's really into me. This is good. Hey, now.
He's
Woo.
listening. He's listening so attentively.
Yes, I will. Let me send him a quick text and let him know he needs to log.
Yeah, let him know he needs to
on.
log back on. That he went out. Well, I think he could see it on his end too. That's okay.
Did
It
he?
happens. That's technology, folks. That's
And this is the time that we're doing the show from the studio and not the.
well, it's
not
on
the
his
house.
end, not on ours.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, this is the
We actually came all the way into the studio today with the dogs, by the way,
who are being
who are
very
being
good.
very good. They're just laying out on the tile and kind of just chilling out tonight. And while Chuck is off, wait, here he is. Hold on, he's back.
Some sort of
There he is.
snafu.
Hey,
I had some sort of snafu.
just when I asked you the really good shit, I was asking you what people should be watching, what you're watching, what are you binging on, but don't tell me Tiger King because we've all seen that now.
There you go. Uh-oh. Anyway, so I'm back here. I think I had an overheating problem. Something was up. So I got
Uh-oh.
a fan on it.
You're overheating.
I'm good. Looks like
Damn.
we're cooled off a little bit.
How hot is it over at your studio?
Well, I had the fans off because they make a lot of noise. So probably got a little warm in here.
Yeah, we actually have the AC on in this room because this room has its own little AC unit. It's almost like those window units you have in New York. You know,
There you go. I
that's
love
what we-
those.
that's what we have back there in the corner for this room, because this room was actually originally part of the warehouse. So somebody
Yeah, I
built
know.
this out.
You guys have done a lot of construction, a lot of different stuff. You know, so good.
That's why we ain't going
Well,
anywhere.
what's funny was we went through and redid
Chucky
the
Michaels is back.
well, we went and redid the broadcast studio, the podcast studio, and we finished it on March 14th.
Yeah.
And when
I'll
did
tell you,
everything get shut down? We're like, yeah, we got it going again. Oh, okay.
I
we got
know, right?
it down.
Oh boy.
So at least now we're actually in here today, and you can see that's why we have the background and all the lighting, and we got some cool dance lighting set up for later. So I think it should be a lot. I think it should be a lot of fun.
And Quarantina should
No,
be.
well, I like the studio. I mean, I like the house, but I like the studio with the backdrop. The whole thing was great.
Yeah,
I'm just so used to being in my kitchen. This is so weird to have this backdrop again. I'm like, well, we're
right?
almost back to being
and
staying
we're,
with
yeah,
Pat
and
and
it's
Jodi.
Vegas. You know, they got to
It's-
know we're from Vegas.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Oh wait, I forgot to.
Oh, he forgot to turn it on. So as Pat's turning on the light, there he goes. Chuck,
There you go.
what recommendations do you have for binge watching? What are you watching right now? Don't say Tiger King. Don't say Tiger
Me?
King. Yeah,
No,
what do you
I
watch?
just watched Ozark.
Oh, everybody's watching Ozark.
Okay.
Well, I got to tell you, if you haven't gotten all the way to the end, hang on.
I haven't watched any of it, so I haven't even gotten to the beginning.
You have to start at the beginning because it's very convoluted. And I was watching 3 hours at 4 or 5 episodes at a time because I couldn't turn it off. So I binge watch, stay up all night watching Ozark.
Ozark.
It was crazy. Great series. They got the one on now about David Koresh.
Oh,
The guy from Waco. It's really good. I haven't really gotten far into it yet.
What is Ozark? What is it? Is it like American Horror Story? Like when you said they got like a guy like David Koresh, what?
Well, the quick story about Ozark is there's a guy, he's a money launderer. He's an accounting guy, and he gets inadvertently hooked up with the cartel. And it turns out that he's a genius at laundering money. The only problem was he gets in over his head, and now they own this guy, So it starts in the beginning when he got contacted, and then it got really convoluted. But you got to follow it from the beginning because it's a great story. Sometimes it slows down to get the characters, And
So how does this David Koresh thing come into play?
they did a what do you call it? Made for not TV but streaming. It's on Netflix, and
But
it's
not
about
only-
the guy.
David
The
Koresh
guy that had
is
the-
different.
David Koresh is it's different. He's the guy from Waco
Yeah.
with so it's a totally different, two different things. But the actual Ozark thing is about this guy. He was a money launderer, and it follows the beginning of his kind of hook up with the cartel, and the end of the 3rd season is great. It's like it brings it all into focus,
Okay, cool.
So,
Cool. So Chuck recommends
and-
Ozark.
Ozark.
And let me tell you something, man, it's crazy.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
I love it. Yeah. And
So
I know everybody's watched. I watched the Tiger King. I thought it was
So
really
did
good.
we.
I liked it.
you had to watch
Yeah,
it. It
I
came
liked
out
it.
right when all the shit went down. So that was
know.
like, and it's so sad because the Tiger King, that guy, Joe Exotic, will never know how popular he became because he sits in a jail cell. He's always wanted to be famous, and now that he is famous, he can't enjoy his fame.
Yeah. Well, I think he knows how
Oh yeah,
famous he
he's
is. He
famous,
just
all right. Let me tell you. So
He spent his whole life
But,
wanting to be famous, and now that he is, he's in jail. So it's like,
And rumor had it that Donald Trump was going to let him out.
yeah, I don't believe that.
really, well, I don't know. All I know is that when I started, the biggest thing was when I started watching the Tiger King was that they can't make this stuff up, man. This is like crazy,
Fact is stranger than fiction. That's where that falls under.
Woo, yeah, baby. I like it though. I like strange stuff, so it's all good.
I have to clear my throat for a second. I'm not sick.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm gonna take a slug.
Okay, just want everybody to know I'm
Clear
not
my
sick.
throat.
I had to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat.
Yes, you got to have a little water.
By the way, speaking of let me clear my throat, there is going to be a dance party. You guys that are watching this right now, you see the ticker, dance party on Zoom right after this. Yeah, Pat was saying that we're on a little bit early tonight. Yeah, we're on early tonight because we're doing a dance party. We didn't want to do the dance party late, so.
And we're at the studio, so we have to drive home after this.
Yeah, so we didn't
via
want
In-N-Out Burgers.
Yeah, we're gonna stop at In-N-Out, and then that's our Saturday thing.
Don't forget to make the run. You got to make it.
That's right.
Exactly. So, Chuck, are you home with your wife? Is your wife home with you?
we're both in lockdown here. I'm in the bunker. I'm doing a show every day. Tune in to Facebook.com/Chuck St. Troy and no period. And you can catch up with my bunker shenanigans until the end of the COVID. I'm going to do this as long as it goes on, man. So,
I know.
every day
we've never been on. We've never been on this much. You know, staying up with Pat and Jodi has never been on this much, and we're on twice a week. And people are telling me how much they love us. So we're going to continue.
Well, I like it. I actually like catching up with all the current events and stuff. Get to chit chat about things that are going down, and you know, it's like it's your beats watching TV, man.
I'm telling you. Oh, and you have a fan on here right now, Sarah. Sarah is on here. Our Sarah, your Sarah.
Oh, yeah. Yay!
Your shows are awesome, Chuck. She said your shows are awesome. She's actually on my Facebook page. She needs to go to Staying Up with Pat and Jodi page so you can see her comment.
That's right. Yeah, tell her to get over to the right place, man. You're in the wrong time.
You tell her. She's watching you. Tell her. Tell her.
Hey, you gotta get over to the other thing on StreamYard.
Well, StreamYard's what we're using. They're seeing us on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, she's on my personal Facebook. Again, not on my Staying Up with Pat. I don't know how I'm gonna make that switch.
So how late have you stayed up during this coronavirus? I can't sleep.
Oh yeah, you know, Jodi goes to bed early, but she wakes up early. I'm up usually till about 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, you know, I go to bed, I sleep for a couple hours, I get up, I'm doing stuff. You know, my head's always going. There's always something to do now, so I'm thinking about my next character. My next character is always in the queue, you know.
I think you should go as James Brown. I think you should do the James Brown. What was the Godfather of Soul, right? Godfather of Soul.
Well, I was going to come out with Stevie Wonder in blackface, but I thought I'd get in trouble. So I
that didn't work out too well for Megyn Kelly.
I had to be a little bit
blackface anymore. That's we're long past that.
No,
maybe back in the days of the Little Rascals, that was okay.
Yeah,
but, we have a lot of cool guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. Everybody from all the one-name artists. We got Cher, we got Freddie, we got ZZ Top, Ozzy. The list goes on and on. So you got to tune in. You never know who's going to pop up or when, but somebody will be on every day.
That's awesome. So I wanted to ask you, because this made a story about annoying habits of your spouse. So now that you're locked in with your wife, beautiful wife, Lisa, does she have any annoying habits now that you guys are spending so much? Because she's a flight attendant, so you hardly ever saw her. Now you're together all the time. What's her?
We both travel a lot, and it's like there's usually only one of us in the house at one time for a long time. So back and forth, and I'm here, she's not, she's here, I'm not. So we're really not in each other's way until now.
Right.
So the biggest thing is that I'm not used to bunking into somebody as much as I am right now.
But she has no little annoying habits?
Nah, not really. I mean, we're pretty cool. Everything's good. We don't really fight or anything or have any kind of issues. But, it's good because I cook, she doesn't, and she handles. Yeah, she handles a lot of all the, we do a big eBay business and all the antiques and collectibles, because that's the other thing I do. Rock and roll memorabilia. So she's basically doing all the posting and pricing and retail service and things like that. So we're busy and other than snoring really loud, what are you gonna do?
No, that's great. And would she say that you have an annoying habit? Probably
I snore I snore really loud too. We kind of cancel each other out, so it's good.
So the neighbors think there's an earthquake happening, is what you're saying.
I don't know. You never know, man. It sounds like a 747 in here, man. Let me tell you.
Well, one lady in Australia, she said that her boyfriend eats almonds by slowly nibbling on the end of one, then shoving it gently into the side of his cheek until his face is bursting like a cartoon squirrel. She says,
There you go. That'll make you
I
crazy.
hate him, and it drives me nuts.
Well, nuts is the word, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Nuts is the word. Let me tell you.
Another one, Nick, 31 in Maine, Molly's boyfriend grabbing the phone. Molly is really grumpy all the time. I'll be like, hey, Molly, want me to make you a nice lunch? And she'll be like, ugh, what's lunch? It's a pain in the ass.
There you go. Well, the
Vaping.
good thing about being locked down is that, you know, if you're going to make something, you just try and cook. You know, I try and get on a regular schedule. You know, I'm up at a certain time, do my thing. You know, and that really keeps me kind of like, you know, I know people, they've been in their pajamas for like 3 weeks. You know, it's I can't do that.
Yeah,
So,
and there, guys are growing beards down to here because
oh, everybody's got. I had one, but I had to shave it off. I looked like Santa Claus, man. I had to get rid of it.
Oh
It was terrible. It was horrible. You know,
Hey, I had to buy
just
a
wanted to
waxing
take-
kit. I had to buy a waxing kit
Yeah,
yesterday.
me too.
There you go.
I had to wax myself.
Well, the cool thing now is that I get dressed up every day as somebody else.
You do.
Yeah, you're getting dressed up for work every day. So for you, it's like you're
I know it's really cool, man.
we just cash, you know. I mean, like we get dressed up because I have to go to a lot of meetings and stuff like that. But we just get dressed up. And of course, you know, Pat's Mr. Friggin' Perfect, so I can't say anything about Pat's annoying habits. I really can't.
I know, right?
I mean, other than he drinks, you know, scotch, but that's not an annoying habit. I mean, that's cool, but I don't really think.
And I don't
mean,
drink a lot of scotch.
as far as Pat's annoying habits, I really can't think of
Yeah,
any. We've been together. I mean, before the pandemic, we're always together.
Yeah, and
So
that's-
this
Yeah,
is
you guys are working together and everything. Yeah,
yeah.
but that's kind of a good thing, you know. The only annoying thing would be if you drank the scotch from a straw, that would be annoying.
No. I'll take a glass of scotch and it'll take me an hour and a half to drink it. So I sip it. It's just kind of, you know, it's that end of the night sort of thing. The same if I have a glass of wine or something. It's not to get wasted. It's just to have, you know, you have your adult beverage and something to nibble on, and that's it. And, you know,
you know, the funny thing is during the quarantine, a lot of my friends, they're home and they've actually quit drinking and they're eating healthier and everything. They're dropping weight. They're trying to take care of business, you know.
Well, we're definitely eating healthier,
I dig it. I like it.
except for Saturday and Wednesday nights. I will tell you that we have 2 cheat meals a week. Everything else is like the freshly meals, which have like 480 calories, and they're all healthy. And that's for dinner that we'll eat most of the time, or we'll do some home cooked stuff. But Wednesday night we do Roberto's tacos.
There you go.
2 tacos each, and then Saturday night we do In-N-Out. So after the show, where we just go out and we do our cheat meals. But, you know, like I said,
that's good, man.
We're doing good.
Yeah, I got, you know, there's some restaurants doing, you know, curbside. They bring your food out to you and stuff like that. So every once in a while, I'll take a break from the spatula and, you know, order some Chinese food or something that I go pick up and, you know, bring it back. But I haven't been going really too many places. I'm trying to stay low. If I do leave, you know, I'm trying to comply. And I think if everybody does the same thing, we'll pretty much be out of the woods sooner than later, you know. But,
are you drinking any wine? Because there's a virtual wine tastings. Again, a news story that I just picked up is that a lot of these wine companies are pivoting and they're trying to think how they can, you know, stay afloat. So they're doing virtual wine tastings via Zoom.
The ones that the ones where we have the wine clubs that we belong to, they've been doing them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So what have they done? Like, what?
I haven't really watched them because.
Oh, okay.
If I want a glass of wine, I'm just going to pour a glass of wine. I don't.
Right.
Yeah, but so
well, why don't they email? They would mail you a kit, right? They would mail you a kit. I would think that the winery would mail you a kit. small like sample sizes?
No,
of wine?
they're just having you drink. I don't think it's quite that sophisticated.
Oh, see, that's the way I would do it.
Yeah.
I would have like, little samples of wine that I would ship to you and then say the date, May 15th.
Now, what they're basically doing is getting their people on the line, and you sit there with them, and they talk about the different wines that they have, and they taste them, and they talk. So it's kind of like a demo that you don't get to imbibe in unless you happen to have that one of those bottles in your house.
Let me ask you guys something. As far as wine goes, are you a specific type of wine, or do you buy the wine by the label?
We drink mostly red. I would say that we're mostly red, and we have our stuff that's the daily drinker stuff. That's just the like the Paisano that we drink for like whenever we just want to pour a glass. I have two different wineries that I'm part of their wine clubs out of Central California, Castrozola and Stolo Family
We're
Vineyards.
in love with the Stolo.
Very small output, sort of less than 1,000 cases, sometimes less than 200 cases, and then we'll get samples of those twice a year, and that's the nice wines that we drink. So I'm not a wine snob. I don't need to have a $50 bottle of wine to enjoy it, but I do like to have that once in a while.
I've been doing the thing where I go to, sometimes the labels really kind of trigger me. I like the way it looks. I'll look at it if it's Cabernet Sauvignon or a red or whatever. I'm not a white guy. I like the darker red. But
you are a white guy, but that's something else.
Well, sort of. But I keep all the corks, so I can keep track of what I've had. And then if I find something I like, I'll buy 2 or 3 bottles of it, put it away, and kind of, if it's something I dig, I'll buy more.
Yeah, buy my biggest,
well, the biggest thing that I got was vampire wine, which I tried on a blind.
Ooh,
I tried it on a blind.
Is it a red wine?
but
the Merlot and the Cabernet Sauvignon, they were great, man. So now I'm a vampire guy. I love it.
Where do you find vampire wine? What store?
Any Lee's, any liquor store. It's about $9 a bottle. So it's it's not expensive, but it tastes really good. And I've had the Cabernet, I've had the Merlot, and I tried a blend, which was good also. But the Cabernet and the Merlot are the ones I like. Cabernet Sauvignon and
good.
Did you know Sarah? Did you know Sarah said she's a vodka drinker? Sarah,
I know she is. I've known Sarah for a long time, man. She drank all my vodka all the time.
And she is watching you right now. So there you go.
Good. I hope she's having a drink, man. Because I am. Here we go, baby. Woo!
Yeah, we're in the studio, so we're drinking heavy here.
We're drinking water. You're home in the bunker.
Oh, and by the way, because we have to wrap up a little bit early today. We have to wrap up a little bit early today, so we want to make sure we get you to do a little bit of a song or so here before we end. So I know we talked about that. We can't play too much because it's on Facebook.
I'm just going to get a little into it and let it run.
Cool.
And Herman is here. Herman Eng, your partner. Herman's on.
Hey, Herman! What's happening, man?
Hey, Herman! Chuck is going to perform, everybody. So Chucky Michaels is going to perform any minute. He's also known as Chuck St. You can find him on Facebook.
I've been on down on the way we go, and I know that we're gonna be home. 'Cause it's something I said or something I did, make it go all right. If I really hurt you, I didn't mind. That's why I said every rose has its thorn. Every night has its dawn. There you go. That's all you get. I'm sorry.
Yay! That's awesome. Richie Steele. Richie Steele says hi. Sarah says,
hey, what are you doing there? How's everything going? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, nobody knows what that is anyway. So it's all good.
So what are you going to sing? Milkshake. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Come on, Chuck. You got to do that one.
The last thing on earth you want to see me do is twerk. Oh, baby. Get my skinny ass up to dance is a miracle.
So what has been the most popular request you've been having now that you've been doing these daily shows? Is there like one artist?
It's funny because it runs the gamut. And I like all kinds of music, but I've been getting a lot of requests now. Everybody wants to hear a monkey song. So tell Sarah the monkeys are coming.
That's right.
Monkey Monday.
Are you doing Monkey Monday? Oh my God.
David Jones is going to be in the bunker on Monday.
Oh, I think you should change out and become all four monkeys. Like do a Peter Tork look, do Mickey Dolenz, put on the hat for Mike Nesmith. You can do all four.
I'm going to tell you, in the queue, we booked him in on the tour, and I am going to be doing Sonny and Cher at the same time.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
nice. You gotta sing what I Got You, Babe, right? From Groundhog's Day.
Yes.
I got you, babe.
Have you seen Groundhog's Day?
I got you, babe.
Yeah, you gotta sing I Got You, Babe. Come on, put it on. I got you. You got it right there.
I'll hug myself. Hey, listen, I was gonna bring my mannequin in here, but I thought it was too weird, you know.
No, not weird enough. If your mannequin's named Tina, that'd be great. I have a mannequin head. Yeah. We have a mannequin. We had Tina, the mannequin head. Remember, used to do hair on.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the thing that I'm going to do on Facebook is after about a month of this, I'm going to have a survey and ask who is, what their favorite star and person was, and then we're going to do more stuff by them, bring them back for an encore on the tour.
My vote. So, you got to say hello to Ellen. Say hello to Ellen from Yonkers.
Ellen from Yonkers. We're in Yonkers, man.
She's over.
Where's she from?
She's over in the Dunwoody area.
There you go. Good old Dunwoody, man. I'm a water tower guy.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
You're right underneath the water tower most of my life.
Wow. My parents, when they first got married, their first apartment was right by the water tower. They showed it to me when we were kids. They're like, oh, when we got married, we lived here. That was their first apartment. Yeah.
All my peeps out in Yonkers, going to do a shout out to all the guys on Park Hill Avenue, everybody down in Pelton Field, everybody at Fleming Field, School 23, Ben Franklin, Yonkers High School. Yay! Yay!
And don't forget Julio's.
Cafe Pooey. I need some Don Oldies, man. Let me tell you.
I can
shout out to my buddy. Right. Well, Jodi, you remember back in Yonkers, man, Cafe Pooey, my buddy Joe Tarracone, they had the best cakes and pastries on the planet out of there.
They did.
Yep.
They did. And, my godfather was Rocco Reedy. I don't know if you knew Rocky Reedy. That's my godfather, Rocky Reedy.
Rocco, what's happening, man? That's hello. All my buddies back there.
His dad worked at Cafe Pooey for years. His dad and my grandfather had the gas station on School Street, Mike Fortuna. So that's my family. Yeah, right there, the garage, right by Selly's. Right, Selly's.
Stanley Fortuna, Reverend Stan is my buddy from way back. We used to play together. Yeah. So we're back. So
Ellen says hi. Ellen says hi to you, Chuck.
Hey, Yonkers. How you doing, Yonkers?
Yonkers.
So
I'm going to give a shout out to the Bronx. It's the only place on the planet when they ask you where you're from, you go, duh. The Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx. DA.
Oh my gosh, I got a wedding coming up for a couple. Two girls are having their wedding in July. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I think they're gonna have it. It's gonna be in a private house, and they are from the Bronx, and they're super cool girls. I can't wait to party with them.
Well, I got to tell you, man. All the people all over. I got buddies on the West Coast, people on the East Coast. All my friends here in Vegas, everybody. I want them all to stay safe.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
don't personally know that many people that had a problem, but it's something that everybody has to address, and we got to be cool, you know. So I want to get out of this fog as quickly as possible. So if we all kind of pull together, it'll happen. So
Get back to some normalcy again.
yeah, man, it's like, you know, we got to have a big party.
Back to celebrating. We need to do more celebrating.
And
Big
Charlene
party.
from Florida is here. Say hello to Charlene from Florida. She's not
Charlene,
watching
how
live.
you doing, baby? How's everything? Where you from, Charlene?
Charlene's from like the Tampa area, like close to Tampa.
She did live in
Jersey.
Jersey.
She lived in Flemington,
Jersey,
New Jersey, right where they make
Cool,
the jackets, where they make the coats. Flemington first.
I have Flemington. There you go.
Yep.
I used to play in Flemington all the time back in the day.
Yeah. Yep.
Used
Yep.
to work all the way out to Parsippany, New Jersey, man.
Oh my God. Palm Harbor. She lives in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Palm Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got lots of friends down there in Miami. They're in what do you call it? Orlando. You know, people all over the South. I know a lot of people that went from New York down there. They ended up staying there. Lots of friends of mine are in North Carolina now and South Carolina.
Yeah,
they made the trek.
That's kind of like we're not going to Florida anymore. We're going to go to We're going to go to the Carolinas. That's
Well,
OBX.
you know,
OBX.
it's not as hot in the summer, you know. It's like,
yeah, it's still hot.
so it's all good.
Yep,
But
absolutely.
to Vegas, you know, I'm glad I made the jump when I did. And I love it out here. I made a lot of friends out here. I love the climate. And it's great. You know, good old Vegas. Chucky Vegas is in the house. That's us. So
Awesome. Well, Chucky, we're
But you
going to wrap
can't
it up
take-
so that we can get to the dance party now because we got to
Cool, yeah.
switch everything
I'm
over.
looking forward to it.
So it's gonna take us about 10 minutes. We're gonna go on Zoom with Jodi. You posted it up on Facebook,
Yes,
right?
It's all the passwords are scrolling right now. The dance party is only an hour, so that's it. If you want to pop on late, you're gonna miss the dance party. But so please make sure it's on the Staying Up with Pat and Jodi. It's on my Facebook. Dance party on Zoom. I gotta let you guys in. We're experimenting, so it's really, really important that anybody watching the show right now just pop in for 3 minutes. That's it. You don't have to stay on all night. But it would help us out immensely because we as a business, as Sight and Sound, are trying to experiment with this new technology and virtual dance parties. So if you guys can just log on and so we can see how it works, we'd really appreciate it. It would mean so much to us.
Good
Absolutely.
stuff. Yes.
And again, Chuck, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. We always have fun with you. You're always a blast. Always got tons
Positive.
of energy, positive.
Never bitches or complains about anything.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
You know, good people to
Hey
have
guys,
around.
listen, I want to wish everybody out there love, peace, and happiness. Everybody stay safe, stay cool. I'll see you on the rebound when the fog clears. I'm coming out big time, baby.
Woo! All right, everybody. We'll see you
over
at the dance party. Thanks, Chuck.